Patient 7, the 2016 movie. What I like about this movie is one of these anthologies. It's a series of 7 little stories that are all kind of like centered around this one character, which is Michael Ironside's character. And he plays a psychiatrist who is like, he comes off a little unhinged. And he's like interviewing all these patients and stuff like that at this mental institution. And they're all like explaining their phobias and problems and stuff like that. And he's a little hard-nosed about like, and you're just like, wow, this guy's kind of, I don't know if he's unhinged or it's some radical new therapy. And so it's kind of an interesting, like a frame story, I think they call it. It's a frame story, and everything else takes in these little vignettes, I think they're called, that happen. And it's all these little short stories. And I love any kind of movie book like that, a series of short stories, and they have like some overarching theme. In fact, it reminds me of this really excellent writer. What's his name? He did the Exit 13 books. What's his name? Scott L. Robbins. Exit 13 books. And so I love any kind of movie like this. So immediately I give this movie 2 extra stars because it's a format I really like. All right. And so he's going through all these patients, and all these patients tell these different horror stories and so forth like that. And I like it. It's like VHS it's in that way. It's like a bunch of little independent stories that all kind of like fall under one umbrella. Fantastic. There's a little too many zombies and vampires things. I think that like zombies especially have been played out for, 50 years. You know, when Shaun of the Dead came out, I was like, finally a good movie about zombies. You know, but even then, you know, people still doing the like Walking Dead and stuff like that. It's like, get out of here. It's so overplayed. And so I don't like that kind of stuff in horror movies. And this is a horror movie. So if you don't like that, you know, too bad. And there's one particularly good story. You know, I don't like ruining a movie, but I will tell the one story about the Theon Greyjoy character. Where is he? Up there. All right. Which is great. I think it's the best story in the series, in all of them. But he's a murderer. He just murdered somebody. Forget everything. Then just wraps him up in like plastic wrap, like kitchen plastic wrap. And you're like, oh my, he just killed this person. He's wrapping him up and doing something with the body. So, and he's got the suit on, and he's got blood on his face and on his shirt, and he's got these gloves on. You know, classic killer look. What's his name? Patrick Bateman look, you know. And so he starts dragging this body out of this house, and as he drags it out of the house, you see it's a city street, and there's all these people in costumes walking around, and you realize, oh, this is Halloween. And so, but you see him kill that person. And so he starts dragging his body through the city streets, and all these people in their Halloween costumes like, oh man, that costume's so great. You know, I got to take a picture with him. And so he's going down the street, and all these people are like, oh, I love the costume. Oh, let me help you carry the body. He's like, wow, it's heavy. You did a really good job. How'd you do it? And stuff like that. And he's going like, and he's like, oh man, you got to come into my party. My friend's going to love your costume. Come on into the party. Just one drink. And he's like, all right, one drink, but I won't be long. I won't be staying long. It's really kind of hilariously terrifying. You know how stupid some people are, especially people in cities. So, and there's plenty of other like interesting stories in the whole movie, but that was clearly the best one, and I highly recommend. I didn't spoil too much of it, but even the end story that involves Michael Ironside is pretty good. So there's other things you could take away from it. Some people might like vampires and zombies more than me, and you'll enjoy that better than I would. So cool. I really like it. You know, I wrote all these notes and I didn't use one of them. I've just been talking about it. But I think I covered it. All right, so yeah. Patient 7, 2016, 9 of 13 stars. Realistic, if it was in a different format, it'd be 7 of 13 stars. Yeah. It reminded me of another excellent series of stories called Exit 13.